If you ever found these while you're out picking, you should have picked them up. They're worth some money. Stay tuned and find out why. Hi, Cherry Vintage here from cherryvintage.com. Thanks for stopping by. This is my first picking haul. These are the items that I'm going to list on eBay this week. It's the first week of February 2013. And this is going to be just the collectibles, and I'll make a second part which will show the vintage clothing that I'm going to sell. All totaled, it should be about $1,000 worth of merchandise to put up. The first item here I'd like to show you is a pack of playing cards. The brand name up there is Congress, and that is a good keyword to use on eBay because apparently some folks collect specifically Congress playing cards. Another good keyword obviously is kitten and cat. And I would date these to be from the late 60s, early 50s, or sorry about that, late 60s to the early 70s based on the photograph there. These are sealed, new in the package. The cellophane is ripped a little bit, the cards haven't been opened, and that's something worth mentioning. You could put that on eBay as NIP, new in package. People do search for that. The tag says $99, but I got for half price, color tag of the week, 50 cents, and they sell, when they're new like this, $20, $25 ship. Next item I have here is a mug that by a famous company. I did notice that the mugs that have bicycles on them, when they're put to auction, often do have a bidding war going on. So I think I'm going to put this up for auction. I don't usually put items up for auction. Maybe 20% of my items or less, probably much less, do I put up for auction, because I always do better when I fill my store up, say with 100 to 200 items. I start to make daily sales, or good enough sales to make a living off of, especially for clothing. I never do auctions. It's just rare that I would do that. Okay, so the brand name is Wachterbach, or Wachterbach. Sorry, my pronunciation kind of stinks there. I don't know German. But just make sure if you find one of these to spell it correctly, because that is a collectible brand name dishware. West Germany, that might be a good keyword to use as well. It's excellent condition. Paid 50 cents, and I'm going to start my bidding at about $25. If it doesn't sell, I'll put it in the store, 25 bucks. Next item I have here is a sculpture, and this sculpture is made by the, can't get that in focus there, sorry about that. That is the Demott Brothers. They're from California in late 60s, early 70s. These were made. It does have a little condition issue, which is the D there sort of rubbed off. And, whoops, sorry about the noise. And the little felt foot bumper there, one is missing, but these aren't huge issues. Also, you can see that the lacquer on here is kind of streaky. That's easily remedied by just removing the rest of it with a solvent. And the lacquer could be put back on. And usually I would not recommend that anybody tinker with, collectibles, but these don't fetch that high of a price, and lacquer is really easy to put back on. And if you don't do that, if you just leave it that way, they really look really bad. And I don't think my camera is doing justice to how bad it looks with, old yellow streaky lacquer. One thing to notice if you pick one of these up, this is often seems to be missing, pops off. Also the seagull there, some of them have that. There's great variation in these sculptures that were made. I got this for free actually, and I'm going to put it about 50 bucks shipped. They have the ones that are bigger boats or ships. I'm sorry, I don't know my nautical terms correctly. They usually can go anywhere from up to 100 to even 200. It just depends, but they are collectible. If you find one, it's worth picking up at a good price. Okay, next item. This is a learning experience here. These were $7.99. I got half price. I paid $4.99. I'm trying to learn a little more about mid-century modern, which is in the 60s. And these, to me, in my opinion, were not a great buy. What I have learned since is that with wood, what you want to look for, that is a good buy, and the prices can go sky high, is, well, maybe not sky high, but $200 is pretty darn good to me, is teak. These are not teak. These are black walnut. So you need teak and Danish modern. So, usually they have a signature of a Scandinavian artist. These, however, are black walnut, as I said, made in the USA. Brand name there is Custom Craft. Now, if you could find a whole set, salad bowl, fork, spoon, 8 bowls, it may be worth your time. But to me, it's not worth my time because in general, I don't like to sell anything for less than $25. These have a lot of weight to them, so then even if I were to do like a flat rate, there's going to be some cost to them, and they're only selling on eBay for like $10, $15. So to me, I'm just going to cut my loss. I'm going to give this to a friend for garage selling. I mean, somebody else might make it work. I'm not judging people who on eBay sell things for $5, $10. Make a good living doing that, but it's just me doing this, and I don't flip things that fast. So just for my business model, I try and keep things $25 or better, and I have a pretty easy time finding things that I can sell $25 or better currently. Okay, this is a clown, obviously. This is Emmett Kelly. He was probably America's most famous clown. He started his career during depressions in the 30s, and he died in the 70s, late 70s. One thing, there are several on here on eBay, and they looked at the completeds. They do get a good price. People forget to put the word clown in, so if you ever get one, don't forget to put the word clown in. Obviously, too, put in the word golfing, I would, if you found this. The title of this is 4, and that's important, too. And the reason I know it is because I found a matching, what do you call this, ornament, Christmas ornament, at the same store. And sometimes the ball is chipped off there, so make sure you get one if you get one that has that on, or otherwise, the price is really bad. It's good that the seal is there, that little foil seal. If you were to list a figurine like this, you'd want to use the keyword signed, and also limited edition, which you can see down there at the bottom. And obviously his name, Emmett Kelly. Let's see, I paid I think $1 for him. It's cheap. And I think the price on that is going to be about $50, $75 shipped. With the best offer. This, 50 cents. It's great that it has the box and everything, but it is a Christmas ornament. I don't imagine it's going to move fast. I'm going to put 20, 25, best offer shipped. Alright, let's go over here. This is kind of a funny little thing. Kind of for 25 cents, was 50 cents, marked down to half off day, 25. I'm going to put it at auction for 25, and if it doesn't sell, I'm going to keep it in my store, $25. Reason why I picked this up is because this is folk art, and specifically it's American folk art. I'm an artist. I'm more of a classical artist. I got a master's degree in art, but really what I enjoy the most is folk art, American folk art. And down here we have name rocks and the date, 81. Why I picked, and it's acrylic, it's not oil. So I would use the term, first of all, folk art painting. I wouldn't put the date. That's not going to matter, I don't think, in the in the search terms. And I would use the word gnome, too, because a lot of people collect gnomes. I also looked at the completeds, and the theme love. Love is good. It sells in folk art paintings for some reason, so I put that too, because he seems kind of romantic there with the little flowers behind his back. And it's acrylic paint. And the reason why I picked it up is because it's odd. A lot of times things sell that are odd and that are one of a kind. You could use the acronym OOAK, one of a kind. On eBay, that's a great term to use because people do search out one of a kind items, and surely that is a one of a kind item. Next I have here another little folk art painting. This one is done in oils, and it would be a good idea to put the term oil in there. So you'd put folk art oil painting, because some people prefer the oil. It's more expensive paint and a little more archival sometimes. Okay, down here we have the signature of the artist. I looked it up and I did not find that this is a famous artist. I also have here NFLD pony. So when I searched that on Google, I found out that there is a group in Newfoundland that is created to preserve these wild ponies. Now, what was really intriguing here to me is that there's this little strange storyline going on here that the artist put on, and it's kind of a little bit cryptic there. It kind of starts in one pen and it goes another, and then it's sort of faded out up there. But after reading through and deciphering it all, I found out that these ponies came over in the 1600s, and you know, they weren't treated well, they weren't preserved, and they were abused and sold as even for dog food, which is sad. And in 1996, they started the Heritage, or there was the Heritage Animal Act, and you know, this group came about to preserve these wild ponies. So obviously, pony horse is a good keyword term to use, and I really believe that this will sell. And since I think it could start a bidding war, I'm going to start it at about $25, and then at auction, if it doesn't sell, it's going in my store, $25. Alrighty, next item here is a plaque, a porcelain plaque. This has two ballerinas. Obviously, ballerinas are collectible. Some people enjoy collecting them. And what's unique about this is that with the two figures, first off, there's a relief here. It's sort of 3D. And secondly, that the girl is whispering to the other girl. Now, if you kind of cruise through the ballerina collectibles in plaques and little paintings or whatever, prints, you'll see that most of them, they're either dancing or they're stretching or they're just holding a pose. I haven't found anything where one is whispering. And if a person who collects ballerinas, they may want this because, like I said, it's a little bit unique there. It's a little different than the other things that they would have in their collection. Let's turn this over carefully. Oh, it has no chips or any problems, so excellent condition there. One thing I look for when I get porcelain or bisque, the back here says Japan, and better than Japan is Occupy Japan. And since I'm trying to keep this video 10 minutes or less, I'm not going to go into that much, but you might want to do your little research on that. Japan, if you're new to doing this, Japan versus Occupy Japan, and it has to do with World War II era, so I'll just leave it at that for now. Maybe if I have another video some other time, I can go more into that, specifically on that topic. Okay. Next I found here for 99 cents. Oh, and I forgot to say what I got that at. I think it was 75 cents, and I'm going to put it at about 40. Alright, duck here. This is a figurine that's also musical, so you could use the word music box. I would use a keyword if you found something like this, similar. Mallard, and also Asian, because this is the Asian motif here, and when we flip it over you'll see that an Asian company did make that. And Asian is a good keyword term because some people like an Asian home decor. So home decor, when you have this little bric-a-brac type stuff, little figurines, is good too, home decor. I would use home decor on this as well, and if I had enough room I would on the paintings as well. Also hunter or hunting, I mean, I'd have to look through and see which one gets more hits, is good because some duck hunters, they like to collect the ducks, obviously, and put them all around their house. Another good keyword to use, whether you have a website or eBay or whatever, Japan. You see, we have Japan here, so it's valid. And it's from the company Atagiri. I may have pronounced that wrong. Sorry if I did. Their cups and the mugs are collectible, and their dinnerware is to the 80s. I found at eBay Atagiri mugs. I'm sure you mug sellers are familiar with that term, that brand. Don't do as well as the 70s. The 70s ones that are more like pottery, more earthenware, those do quite well if you ever find this brand coffee mug. Okay, the tune that it plays is Memory. I'm not going to play it because I don't care for that song, but hey, somebody else will. A little picker tip here, if you find hardware that is this good quality, like this, it's kind of heavyweight, looks like it's just not going to crack off when you use it a few times, that is often a sign of a piece that's worth bringing home to resell, you know. Alright, put this little guy back up. Last we have here a Coca-Cola collectible. Let's take a look down here. The series is called Elegance of Coca-Cola Collection. Specifically, this gal is called a timeless, can't read that, a timeless pause with Coca-Cola. I paid $1.75 for her, and I'll be putting her in my store for $75 or best offer. I think the lowest I would take is $50 on this, because there's no other statue that is specifically this woman in this series. Now, what I did find by looking online is that each woman, it's like a fashion series. Each woman represents a different decade or era. This woman represents the Edwardian era. So use the word Edwardian. So what is Edwardian? That would be the period between about the turn of the century, 1900, to when World War I broke out, which is about, 1913, 1914. And you can tell a woman, if you found this or another item like a photograph or a cup or something like that that had a woman dressed like this on, you might want to pick it up, because many women, especially women who like romantic stuff, they're always searching the Edwardian era. And an Edwardian fashion woman, she's like this. She has a huge hat, often with flowers and feathers, but it was a modest era, so they would be covered up from the neck down to their feet like this. And unlike the Victorian times, they don't have huge bustles on the rear there. And they have a bodice, which is the top of a shirt that looks like this. It's often called like a, what is it called? A pigeon chest or pigeon breast, because it kind of poofs out like a, think of like a carrier pigeon. And often they'd have like a very lacy or lined, or what am I trying to say, striped portion like that. Then corseted, and then the skirt that goes all the way down to the feet. And of course, this is modern, so they've kind of taken like a liberal interpretation of that, which is fine. What I like about this is that they have a little purse here, a little cinch bag that's really kind of cute. And the Coca-Cola cup is plastic there. Great detail on that. Another keyword term that would be great for this would be Titanic era, because this did happen, this fashion was current during the time of the Titanic. I can't say that word. So just make sure to put in Titanic era. So just Titanic, or they'd think it's the movie, and that's keyword spam. Finally, the thing I really like about this too is this feather is Marabou feather, which is from a stork. Marabou is always more expensive. If you ever find little Marabou shoes or something when you're out thrifting, those fetch a good price. Usually when they're being cheap, they put like little chicken feather things, but Coca-Cola spent some money on this, made it Marabou. Okay, well, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you found this to be useful. If you did find it useful or entertaining, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share if you'd like. Coming up next will be the portion of my haul for this week that is dealing with fashion, and I'm going to be going over mainly 80s fashion.